especially if we've had potions. Much cosier than the Great Hall.
I miss playing gobstones on the kitchen floor with my cousins. Not the same here in the courtyard.
I think there were dogs the other way. And surely those were curdle.
Revelio. Revelio. Oh, that was it. Lumos. Revelio. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Revelio. Lumos.
Watch the tile under your feet. You'll set off something foul. Oh, please be careful. If you could just tread carefully, that's all I ask.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos.
Housegoose can procure rancid meat and no one says a word. Back with here and there's an outcry. Anything, I mean, should there be rather a stench of some sort? Well,
Revelio.
It's not me.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
Where did you get your dragonhide gloves?
I saw you handle
just don't necessarily
Trying to trade in my
want him to get
eggshell
back to the
79
lesson.
for a newer model.
Imelda Reyes acts as if she invented Quidditch. I don't think she's even that...
Revelio.
And then the werewolves join the goblins in the uprising.
Werewolves, where were you? In the Goblin Rebellion of 1752?
And by the end of it, the Minister for Magic was Albert Boot.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, what fun! I won't say my goodbyes. I shall cheer for the boy who says you're telling
I'm
lies.
not telling lies, Peeves. It was Albert Boot.
No, it wasn't. It was Basil Flack.
Ooh, fine, fine. It's a bold attack.
Revelio.
The Minister of Boot or the Minister of Black?
Stop it, Peeves. You'll get us in trouble.
In trouble you will be, but you can't give Peeves a smack. She says it's a boot and he says it's a flack.
Peeves, enough. You'll get us all detention. And you're both wrong anyway. It was Hephaestus Gore.
It wasn't Boot and it wasn't Flack, but you're all in trouble with Professor Black.
My parents were thrilled to hear that Black was being put in charge. Our families have been friends for centuries.
Good thing Professor Weasley takes her role seriously, since Black clearly has no interest in his.
If only Black had the power to choose the other professors too, then we could get rid of Muggleborn like garlic.
Why would Black want to be headmaster of Hogwarts? Of course, I'm not sure what job he'd actually be good at. Perhaps something at Azkaban.
It's about time Hogwarts put someone like Black in charge. Perhaps now we can stop all these disgusting mudbloods from ruining the school.
I adore the hamlets near the coast. They're a bit damp, but ever so picturesque.
I'd like to
What was that for?
I'm too afraid to venture out alone with all that's going on.
Hamlets when I'm older. One just like Brockborough.
Life seems rather dull in the hamlets around here. I'd much rather live in a big city like London.
Apparently Marronween was having a bit of a poacher problem. I wonder if that's still the case. I just know we were finally going to win the Quidditch Cup this year.
Revelio.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work, but I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me! I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off? Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment. Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will, but instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you. The trick is to pull the sphere as far as possible, but not a bit more, or it'll fall, yes? Now, I could keep talking about theory all day, but practice is the best professor. Show us how it's done. Very good. Don't lose your composure. Splendid. Stay focused. Excellent. Good. Happens to the best of us. Very good. Points to Ravenclaw. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Let us see this. Not exactly your typical lesson, is it?
Very good.
Be sharp. There we go. Do not think I will start going easy on you now. Watch this. Quite impressive.
Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Here we go! That is how it's done.
Splendid!
Let us see this. There we go. Nicely done. Watch this.
Excellent control there. Very good, both of you. Well done. Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Good game back there. I must admit, I think I underestimated you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Ouagadougou just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Is Ouagadougou a castle like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
Is Ouagadougou much bigger than Hogwarts?
Ouagadougou School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Ouagadougou uses one.
You can cast spells without a wand?
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Ouagadougou, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course, you can use Accio on humans, if you're so inclined.
Well, you'd be using it on clothing, to be precise, Sebastian. You know it won't work on humans.
A word.
Professor Ronan reminds me of my grandfather. Loads of wisdom, but a bit mad.
After my brother learned the summoning charm, it was constant Accio this, Accio that, cutlery flying everywhere. Quite unsafe, really.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? You did well, managing to best as gifted a student as Miss Onai.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
How was your first day coming along?
Hello, Samantha. Nice to see you again.
I wondered how your first day was going. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan.
My mother always responds to my owls very swiftly.
So many letters arrive every day. It's ever for me.
It's always so exciting to see the owls come swooping into the Great Hall.
I used to write to my parents every week. Now I can't remember the last time I sent them an owl. Wonder if they know I'm still alive.
How many owls do you think Hogwarts has?
Wish I'd brought a pet owl to school. Don't misunderstand, I adore my toad. At least somewhat. Don't suppose you want a toad?
I adore getting owls from back home. My father sends me one here.
Do all of the professors have their own owls? I imagine they must send a lot of letters. Likely to the ministries.
To be honest, anything I could get in Diagon Alley this year, I was able to find in Hogsmeade.
Did you get your Bisharoo from Pippin's, or did you pick it yourself? I'm desperately in need of some.
She put a bowtruckle under my bed, and I know it was her. She's looking for trouble, that one. Looking for it. Oh, I remember that day. Yes, in Greenhouse 3.
Yes. You'd hidden a bucket of leaping toadstools over at the far end.
Yes, I do recall now. And Professor Garlick knocked it over and we ran out.
I got told off for that.
Well, I did say to distract her by asking how to handle flesh-eating slugs.
Well, I was mildly distracted by the shuffling of the mandrakes, I do believe. Do you recall that part too?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. The toadstools had more than proven their name and were hopping into the mandrake pots.
Tell you what, I'll forget the whole thing if you can spot me some sneezewort and scurvy grass.
You after making a befuddlement draft?
Yes, there's a third year who keeps enchanting my quill to go up my nose. Time he learned who's in charge here.
Well, it's not you. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, that's rotten to enchant your quill. How foul.
Plus, it's an old quill. Clearly has feathers of some horrible bird that had no pride. Very painful up a nostril, I can tell you.
Fair enough. I'll trade you sneezewort and scurvy grass in exchange for letting bygones be bygones. Friends?
Always. And don't be stingy on the sneezewort.
A girl in our dormitory keeps getting packages of homemade pasties from her family. We shan't fit into our robes for next term at this rate.
My side of the dormitory is always spotless. Can't say the same for my housemates. If I didn't know better, I'd say they were raised by trolls.
I'm convinced I'm the only one in my dormitory who doesn't snore. I shall need a sleeping draught to get a good night's sleep if it keeps up.
My father said he used to hide his schoolwork under his bed.
I couldn't agree more.
I like to keep a bit of Wiggenweld potion under my bed. Not naming names, but someone's bought a few too many tricks from Zonko's.
Well, I woke up to one, wriggling its foul little tongue up my nose it was.
friends and I lose track of the time whenever we're at the Three Broomsticks. Nearly missed exams one year, we were so engrossed in our butterbeers.
I'm saving up for a new broom. Reckon I'll be going for the U-Weaver, or possibly a Silver Arrow. Albie Weeks says he'll give me a good price on one too.
I did 26 hours of homework last week.
Let me guess, catching up on History of Magic?
How did you know?
By the disappointed look on Binz's face every time he sees you. I think you're breaking his heart.
That's far too much responsibility for one person to bear. Besides, I'm sure you're warming his heart. When you stood up and answered his question on the werewolf code of conduct, I swear he shed a tear.
I don't mind Binz if I'm honest. People moan about him, but he doesn't mean anyone any harm. Not like Howin.
Howin doesn't mean anyone any harm. What are you talking about?
She certainly means me harm. It's a wonder she hasn't put a basilisk under my desk.
Do you think she's still annoyed that you answered her back that day, over the puffskein food?
She's never been the same since.
I was a bit surprised. Answering garlic that could be one thing, but Howin, you're lucky you made it out alive. You'll simply have to be more polite to teachers in future.
Yes, lesson officially learned. Oh, meant to ask, can I copy your herbology notes about privet?
There was literally one thing she said about it. How could you not note it down?
I was working on History of Magic.
In herbology? Fine, but be forewarned, I mainly drew a picture of a bush.
My house broom will do me fine for a while, I'm sure. My parents keep promising me something to make up for the fact that they spoil my sister rotten. I think we'll just tell them to kick me out with a wind wisp from Spintwitches and we'll call it even.
If I had to pick one shop, it'd be Gladrags. Mr. Hill is always very helpful, don't you find?
I prefer the Three Broomsticks to the Hogshead. Sirona's a much better conversationalist than Jasper Trout.